Hello everyone, welcome to Liberal Tarot. I'm Sherry, a blue dot in a red state, utilizing tarot to offer insight into these very interesting times we have going on here in the United States. So I'm really glad that you're here and welcome. The focus of today's reading is going to be Dawn Old's health. Now, I know I said months ago I was going to stop doing these readings because I said that the Trump you see today is the very best you're going to get. It's not going to get any better. It's only going to get worse as we go forward. And I didn't really know how many more health readings I could do to say, yeah, trust your eyes. You're seeing it with your own eyes. So the reason I am doing that today is because there have been some things happen. Have you seen and heard him out there with, it's almost like deathbed confessions of, they tell me I'm not doing well. I may not be around much longer. And I want to go to heaven. That was he wants to go to heaven because that's why he wants to get this Ukrainian peace deal done, because he thinks that's going to get him to go to heaven. Alrighty there, Don. So I want to look into his health. The other thing that I want to kind of put someplace and also ask for you guys watching, if you've been having any dreams, any feelings, any of those intuitive moments, one, I want to confirm that we're having those, okay? We're all having those. Even people that wouldn't normally have that, I have had reach out to me and go, I don't know what to do with this. And it's like, you've joined the collective of, we're all in that energy. A lot of us are feeling that. And I think that my theory is that as we get closer to it, there's going to be more and more people having those visions. I shared mine from, what was it, August 15th, that hazy, when you're in that between awake and sleep moment. And I had a very vivid, I got up and ran to my phone going, is there a news notification? Because I really thought it had happened, because I just don't have those types of visions, and it was so vivid. So yeah, if you are having those, you're not alone. And if you feel comfortable and want to, drop that in the comments, go ahead. Or if you know somebody who's had that, or, however you want to word that, I would be very curious to know. And it's also confirmation for everybody else. So then the next thing I want to tell you is I'm using, the deck I'm going to use for this reading is the Sacred Rose Tarot. This is a copy of the very first tarot deck that I bought, which I bought in New Orleans, of all places. Of course, I bought it in New Orleans. So this is, as I said, the Sacred Rose Tarot. The colors are gorgeous. However, I would not recommend this as a first deck for someone wanting to read tarot. It is pretty much like the Rider-Waite. However, the minor arcana, very visual, doesn't always align with the imagery on the Rider-Waite and can be a little bit more difficult to read. So just keep that in mind. Colors are gorgeous, though. Love this one. I know I say that about all of them. So yeah, I was excited to get a copy of the very first deck that I ever owned. So I'm going to ask, what do we need to know about Trump's health? As always, for entertainment purposes only, what is it that we need to know about Trump's health? Just a base reading into that. What do we need to know about Trump's health? Base reading. Okay, you guys, I just got to tell you this. They still have the new card smell. Oh, they smell so good. They have that new card smell, and they fit really, just a little moment here, they fit really nicely in my hand. I've got actually I have that new Rider-Waite deck that I got just the other day. See, there's my rubber bands holding it together, and I just want to show you the difference on the thickness of the cardstock. Can you guys see that very well? There's about, probably about that much. Oh, you can't see, about that much difference. Let me see if I can hold these up on the side and you can see them a little bit better. You can see they're just a little bit thicker. So these are just a little bit harder to shuffle, but these are really, oh, I already shuffled. Really nice. Okay. Looking into Trump's health. Base reading, what do we need to know? First card here and now, quickly, 8 of Wands. Okay. What's going to happen very quickly? The challenge, 2 of Swords. Something is blocked. Something is blocked. There's also choices to be made. Okay. The options, the Lover's card. I have been reading this as the Epstein files. That's the energy coming in, but let me keep going and see if that still holds for Epstein files. And also, I just got it. Is that not just gorgeous? Just the colors and how bright that is. So pretty. The foundation, Queen of Cups. Okay, this is the taking care of oneself, the Mother card, emotions. 3 of Wands is the recent influences. This is the card of, in the Rider-Waite, this is the person looking out into the future and like looking out across the ocean and ships coming in. Okay. And this is the recent past, recent influences here. And 7 of Wands, needing to overcome. Okay. So this person has got the big club that is trying to bat all of these away. Okay. So as I'm looking at this, if I was doing a health reading on somebody, very quickly, there's a blockage of some kind. There's some kind of block. I'm wondering if, because I know I've been reading this as the Epstein files, the stress of those either being released or the potential of those being released, with his mother was not in good health either. And so I wonder if this isn't something on the mother's side, and you get 3. And recently, looking out into the future, looking at his legacy, I'm kind of getting this, like looking at his legacy, looking at what is it that he's going to leave the world with. I mean, he really wants that Nobel Peace Prize. And he only wants it because Obama has it. He doesn't want to actually do what it takes to get it. He just wants to be, he just thinks that, oh, I can say all these things and they'll just give it to me. It's like, no. So that's kind of the push that I'm feeling with this recent thing, is trying to take care of, like, wrapping things up before he kind of exits. That's really what I'm feeling with this. And it's blocked. Things aren't happening the way he wants them to happen. Okay, I'm curious about the Lover's card. What is this Lover's card? Is this the Epstein files being released? And with the Lovers, big wand, big ideas, big messaging that brings this to an end. 10 of Swords. This looks very different in this deck, and I just want you guys to see the artwork on that and see how vibrant those colors are. Ooh, just so pretty. Okay. And the World card. Yeah, I think that the stress from these Epstein files is what brings about his conclusion to this chapter called life. So when readers do, at least for me, whenever I do a health reading, this card actually is more of an indicator of death than the actual death card, because this is saying, you know, you've done all you've done, you've accomplished, you've arrived, you've done what you need to do to make it in this life. Okay, that's what this card is. Now, just because this card comes up in just a random reading does not mean that you're going to die, okay? That is not a death card. This is just you've arrived, you've accomplished, you know, it's now time for that next thing for you to do. Well, in Don's case, his next thing is to go to the next realm, okay? That's what, and he cannot overcome this. This is not, he's not getting any better. But it's the stress from the Epstein files that is what finally does it in. Are we going to get the Epstein files? What is this Ace of Wands? I'm curious. This also just so you know what also can encompass this is sexual abuse. So those Epstein files absolutely could be under in this energy of that wand. So are we going to get the Epstein files? Now remember, I don't know when this reading is coming out. Friday. So let me just add, now knowing that I'm not expecting there to be any great revelations. In fact, I think I had said like the DOJ was only going to dribble things out, but sometime whenever I did like a reading, I said something about they're just going to dribble stuff out. That's kind of what I'm feeling with this. So I'm curious about what this Ace of Wands is and what happens with those Epstein files. Dribbling things out. Now, in this is what it looks like in this deck. Just to remind you, in the Rider-Waite, it's that the Six of Pentacles is that person standing there with the with the scales in one hand and just kind of doling out pennies to people. Okay, I was seeing if I could find that real quick, but I never can. I don't know why I try. I never can find things quickly in the other decks, but that's what that card looks like. So this is going to be dribbling things out. That's what I get from the DOJ. As far as the files, Two of Pentacles going back and forth. What agreements can we come to? Okay, Two of Pentacles. And the Page of Wands, messages. This is also going to be, it's my messenger card, but paired with this, remember when Pam Bondi had those binders and, oh yeah, the Epstein files, it's right here. And it was all publicly available information and it didn't really say or do anything. That's kind of the feeling I'm getting from these two cards. There is so much more they could release, but they're going to dribble it out. That's what that is. They're going to dribble it out, which I thought it was all Democrats in there. Why are they wanting to protect Democrats? I say sarcastically. Actually, they really did say Democrats were in it. And so it's like, okay, well, if they are, why are you not releasing it? You know, like Bill Clinton, okay. And all the Democrats are like, whoever's in it needs to be prosecuted. We don't really care who's in it. So let's see here. Where am I at on time? Anything else we need to, I'll just ask. Anything else we need to know? Anything else we need to know about Trump's health? And with Trump's health, the Devil card, remember, just think of South Park. I swear, I think I'm going to think about that every time I see this when it comes to Trump is, you know, is he going to get to go meet his buddy there soon? Okay, the Devil, the Queen of Wands, someone's calling, and the Eight of Swords. Quickly, this, you know, feeling trapped, feeling restricted. And so messages, Queen of Wands, messages about his health, messages about he is not doing well at all and feeling really stuck. So, yeah. I want to come back here to this very quickly. What's going on with this really quickly? This will be I'll wrap it up after this. I'm just curious about this. When I'm asking about Trump's health and you get very quickly, things are blocked, that could be, you know, like a heart blockage. Okay, so, or if this is going to be a blockage, heart, brain. Okay, so what is this very quickly? Things, the Moon card. Now remember, Moon, this may be a little bit of a stretch, but the first thing I thought of was a woman's cycle, blood, moon. Okay, so something with the blood. Queen, I get a lot of queens around this. This could be like he's been given things to do in order to take care of himself. I don't know that he's doing that. No, Knight of Wands. He's really hesitant. He wants to do whatever he wants. He's trying to project this health. Like he is this, you know, 6'3", 215 pounds, healthiest president to ever be. That's what the feeling I'm getting for this is. He doesn't want to face the reality. He's saying something else, and he's hiding. Or he thinks he is. You can't hide cankles and those bruises on the back of your hand. Okay, and he looks awful. He sounds awful, and I'm not. Okay. I am no fan of Trump, never have been, ever since the first time I saw him on the news in the 1980s. I'm like, why is he on the news? He's disgusting, okay? So hate for him goes back a long ways. What I'm feeling with this is that he's trying to hide what is going on. He's trying to hide it, and he can't. And he's been told what he needs to do. You get all of these. There were several pinnacle, or the female cards that came up here. I don't have my glasses on. I can't see. And then the Queen of Wands. Yeah, you get all these queens. So I don't know that I'm not really feeling like it's the women around him that care so much. It could be, you got Lion Caroline, who is out there saying, oh yeah, he's fine. You've got Queen of Pentacles. Honestly, could be Melania, she just wants the money. And then the Queen of Cups, it could be, this is something he's inherited from his mother. It's a disease from his mother's side of the family. It could be that the doctors have told him this is what you need to do, take care of yourself. And he's like, nope, we're going to keep it hidden. I'm not going to really do what I'm being told to do to take care of myself, which would be the not being president, that the stress from that. And what even came up was the stress from the Epstein files. Okay, stress from the Epstein files. I'm just looking through here, and yeah, this world card. I feel like I should ask when. I get that quickly card. Let me see if I can get that narrowed down just a touch here. When can we? Now, I will say I don't feel like the initial event is going to be. It's going to be catastrophic in that he can no longer be president. I don't know that that's what initially. I don't know that he dies from that. Okay, but he's not going to be president. Okay. So that Eight of Wands, quickly, can we get a little bit better time on that? What is that looking like? If this is a health event and that Eight of Wands was that, what can we expect? What do we need to look for? That's a better, instead of time, let me ask, what do we need to look for? What are those signs besides the cankles? Queen of Wands, messages about those Epstein files. As that Epstein file starts to come out, that's what we need to look for. And the Eight of Cups is, let me think about that just for a second. Let me see what we've got here. Walking away. Oh, he leaves. He walks away. It's the Epstein files. It could be also Ghislaine Maxwell, because I have said in the past that when those files those files will be released, and that he is in them in an undeniable, like it's confirmed in an undeniable way, and that after the fact, Ghislaine Maxwell confirms it just because she's wanting out of jail. And it's at that point, it's kind of like moot point. We already know the evidence. And it's the Epstein files, and that is the Eight of Cups, him walking away, which is exiting this world. So that is the stress from the Epstein files is going to be that final thing that he cannot handle the stress of that. Now, what happens after that? As I said, I don't see the initial event. I just see that removing him from office. Okay, I will leave it at that. So thank you very much for joining me. I really do appreciate it. I don't know how many more of the Trump health readings I will do. I'll be real honest. Whenever he's out there saying things like, I want to go to heaven and I don't think I'm going to be around long, and and then the physical things that we're seeing, that's why I thought I should do that follow-up right now. But keep in mind, Eight of Wands, Epstein files. That's all I'm going to say, but that's something that we need to watch for. Also, just to remind you, if you have stuck with me through this, just to remind you, if you've been having your own intuitive moments and you feel comfortable doing it, drop that in the comments. I'd be real interested in knowing and just seeing the confirmation that I think that we're all getting. And if you don't want to say what it is, just say yes, confirmed. Okay, so thank you very much for joining me. I'll put another reading up here. Have no idea what it is. I'll go back and see if there's any Trump health readings I can put there. Might put a second one, more recent reading up there for you. Subscribe, and I will catch you on the next reading. Have a great day.